Hi everyone, my name is Rene and I am welcoming you back to this channel. In this channel you're going to find a lot of information about tango dancing, and I hope you enjoy your stay in this channel. For some reason, if you are new to this and for some reason you have more questions, please go back to a few lessons. We have at least 50 already, and in these other lessons you're going to find probably the answers to your questions, or to clarify something that is probably not clear in this lesson. Nevertheless, if you cannot find what you're looking for, send me a message and I'm gladly going to respond to that, clarifying whatever question you might have. As I usually do, I want to start this session thanking you not only for being here, but for all the messages, all the contributions, all the care that I have been receiving from all of you that are following me during this time, especially during these times that they were very, very challenging. We're still working from home. We're still producing a lot of things. So I am going to keep you asking for your help, not only for me, not only for this channel or the activities that Tango Brillante DC does, but for all the instructors in our communities. No matter if you're in Australia or if you're in Buenos Aires or if you are around the corner around here in Washington DC metro area, all the artists, all the musicians, all the instructors, all the tango organizers, everybody needs your support right now, and it's very important for all of us to get that support. Okay, so don't keep, I know that things are getting better, we're all getting vaccinated. I already got my first dose of vaccine and I'm waiting for the second, so things are clearing up a little bit, but we still need your support. Okay, so let's jump into the lesson now. What we're going to do is we're going to keep practicing a little bit with some forward ochos. This is very simple. All we are trying to create, to develop during this lesson is your ability to navigate the floor, you know, in a smart, effective, and useful way, because you're not going to be wasting your movements, you're not going to be wasting your energy trying to think what you're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do. So this is for the leaders. All you have to do is to start your forward ocho. So I'm going to show you this exercise from forward ochos, and the way I'm going to arrive to that forward ocho step is not going to be the regular way. Most of the instructors ask you to go the basic step until number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then start the forward ochos. I want to do something a little bit more, I'm not going to say creative, just different, you know, like train you to have another option, a quicker option, something that is going to pop out immediately. Oh, I can do this. So instead of going to the number 5, we're just going to do a bouncing step, and that is going to create our first forward ocho. So I'm taking side step, I walk one step, the second step is going to be the bouncing step, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now when I'm doing this bouncing step, make sure that you see that my legs are not bending when I do the bouncing. Bouncing doesn't mean that I have to do, okay, that would be not bouncing, that would be bouncing against the floor. What I mean by bouncing is I'm bouncing from one side to the other. So I have to go forward and then back. I'm bouncing, let's put it this way, I'm bouncing against the wall. I'm bouncing horizontally. I'm not bouncing up and down. Okay, so if I try to do that again, So we have done this exercise many times, but I want to remind you that in this exercise, my legs are completely elongated. They are not stiff. My heels move off the ground. I mean, not only my heels, my toes can be lifted as well, but everything is happening in a very fluid way. I'm not locked. I want you to feel that your joints are soft and you're allowing movement inside the joint of your hip. So after this, what we're going to do is we're going to transfer our weight as leaders on our right side, and immediately after that I create the first forward ocho. Now, instead of just doing forward ochos, I'm going to walk with my dance partner. And look, I'm not going to lock this foot here, because if I lock this foot, this whole leg right in where it is, I'm just allowing that direction. If I collect a little bit, I allow her to walk here, I allow her to walk over there. So I'm using a wider angle here. So, but we're going to go towards that corner. See, I have a very limited space here. So I'm going to take her, she's walking forward. She's going to make 3 steps. 3 steps, okay? 1, 2, 3. While she's making those 3 steps, all I'm doing is I'm making side steps. And how many do I make? 3. 1, 2, 3. In the third one, I do exactly that I did in the first forward ocho, but with the other leg. My weight is on the left, my right is here. So if I want, I can change the direction. 1, 2, 3, forward ocho. Just to show you, see what I'm going to do. I change her direction. 1, 2, 3. I pivot her. I change her direction. 1, 2, 3. As you can tell, I can go everywhere doing that first forward ocho. I can always define where my direction is going to be. So this set of steps is very versatile. It can allow you, it can create all the things. We cannot pretend, at least I cannot pretend you as a student are going to just repeat all these things that I am teaching you. I would love you to change this, to reorganize them and create your own steps. The routine that we're practicing today is to put that seed in your brain. You're going to make them grow into a wonderful plant eventually, okay? So I'm going to show the same thing on the opposite side. As you can tell, whenever I'm doing forward ochos, I first walk against the flow of the flow of dancing. And the reason why I do that is, once again, to challenge you. That's the reason why I'm not going 5. However, see, I'm going to do it in the same sequence of dance, which it can work as well, okay? So I'm going to take her, I'm going to take my dance partner to the rebound, side step, forward. In the next one, rebound. I'm not going to get tired to emphasize that your hip joints have to be soft. I make a I make a rebound step, and then I'm switching my weight to my right foot. And then from here, I'm going to invite her to keep going forward 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm playing with it a little bit. I hope you can realize what I did at some point. But, and if you realize, send me a message. The thing is that these, like I said a little bit earlier, these steps are very versatile. So they can be changed according to your creativity, according to your the way that you're dancing in a particular way, because sometimes all of a sudden there might not be space, so you can change the direction immediately. You can make stops, you can make pauses, which are very good. Okay, let me show you now what can we do with the sticks. At this point, I would like you to just pay attention to what the sticks are doing, because you're going to realize how easy it is to have the movement of the follower in my head. I need to program that in my head, and only then I can put those movements in action using my lead. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is that you first need to imagine, need to understand what the ladies are doing in order for you to take them there. Okay? So I'm going to show, let's not worry about the direction right now. I'm going to go side step, 2 forward steps. The first one is a regular step. The next one is a bouncing step. I bounce forward and then back. Can you tell? Like in the back, when I'm bouncing to my right foot, I'm bringing her already on this side. In a way, I'm bringing her leg kind of under my arm. And from there, I'm going to pivot her. Like I said before, it's okay to leave your leg here, but I'm going to hold it a little bit. Today, we are practicing with the wonderful music of Pedro Lawrence with different singers. But see, the music is so elegant and it allows me to do a pause. Let's say I'm bringing her bum, 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 bum. I'm making her go 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. In the third, I lead another forward ocho. If I want to just practice how to do this step, I would highly recommend you to just don't try to go anywhere. Just do it like I'm doing now. 1, 2, 3. Now, let me talk about how to do this 1, 2, 3. I want you to observe if I do it incorrectly. You're going to immediately think, oh, I can't do that. So let's say I did the rebound. I'm going to move a little bit here so you can see with longer steps. See, if I go 1, 2, 3, there's a little bit of a confusion for the lady. Don't forget that the ladies are not just following you. They are making, their job is a little bit tough because they are making sense with your lead and the music. They are listening to the music. So they want to walk bam, bam, bam. What does that mean? The moment that she walks here, she wants to go bam, bam, bam. So my chest must have that speed. So I'm moving my chest. Don't worry about your feet. Don't worry too much about the elegance in which you have to move those legs. Eventually, you're going to move a little bit more elegant, but right now, your chest is leading those steps that she's making. I want you to look at my chest. I'm trying to go, and in the process of leading with my chest, I'm not going up and down. I'm constantly moving to one side. There is kind of like slightly when I switch my weight, and that moment is when she's stepping. Dun, 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 dun. I want you to understand that, like, that little pause that we're doing is like a little curl. Dun, 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 dun. Okay? Now, let's do it again as just an exercise. Side, bam, ba, 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 ba. That's not correct. I'm going to do it again. Side step, one, rebound, one, two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three. The moment that I don't want to do this any longer, one, two, three. Forward ocho. We arrive back to the fifth. 6, 7, and 8. As you can tell, it's not that difficult. All you have to do is to understand that, of course, I can make more than 3. I can make just 2. But for now, let's just let's concentrate in doing the movement. I would highly recommend you to do only an even numbers. That is easy to remember. I can do 1, which would be the regular forward ochos. I can do 3. I can do 5. Probably I can do 5 in one side and do 3 on the other side. So think a little bit about that. And now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to be talking about my lead. I want you to, at this point, try to observe what I'm doing with my upper body rather than my feet. The rebound is not affecting anything. The only thing is, see, as she's walking forward, I'm making space for that, for her whole body to come under my arm. And here, to make sure that I am in my balance to pivot her, I'm going to feel all my weight in my quadriceps. So much that I can lift, look how I'm lifting my heel. So I make her walk after this, and then put my foot on the ground and pivot. That allows me that full control of my balance on that right leg, allows me to find the next direction. In the first one, we're not going to work too hard. We're going to go that way as we did. So here, 1, 2. The moment I want to switch, I need to know when, while she's walking, I need to already see, she finishes, her foot touches the ground, and I need to bring the other foot to a forward ocho. Now, look at how I'm going to go zigzagging around the room. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pay attention to my chest. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Every time that I'm doing the exercise, I'm always showing the direction with my chest. I might see my chest is that way. So if I keep that direction, my feet are probably walking in a funny way, but I don't care about that. My chest is inviting to come. I finish, I pivot her with my chest, and I keep my chest like that. Okay? That is very, very important, because most of the time I'm going to be dancing in a close embrace. So if I move my torso in a funny way, the lady is not going to understand to me. So I have to keep okay. Now you have seen how interesting it is to go in a zigzag way, but now I'm going to show you how you can avoid obstacles doing this exercise. For that, I'm going to bring these two. Good. I'm going to be navigating around these chairs, doing the exercise that I just told you. So I'm going to start here. Probably the way that I did I made my dance partner, my sticks, they were tripping a little bit, but the idea is that sometimes you're going to have obstacles on the dance floor, and I want you to I want you not to feel afraid of the obstacles. I want you to take them as they are, obstacles, and I'm going to try to avoid them or going through them in a very nice and elegant way. But at the same time, I want you to make sure that you understand that your lead is what is allowing this to happen. Your lead has to go fluid. The lady, in her mind, she's just navigating. She's not worried about the obstacles. I tried not to make a too long pause, like a confusing pause, like a hesitant pause, like where I go from here. If you want to make a pause, that's awesome, that is wonderful. Pauses are the key to dance tango, but make a pause like in the moment. This is a practical way to think about a pause. I make the pause and I'm checking around what is happening, where can I go? Of course, once again, that was a practical way. At some point, you're going to develop this ability to do that very quickly. And your pose is not going to be just practical, but it's going to be connected with the lady. You're going to hold her like, I'm trying to define where I'm going. And she, while you're doing that, she's going to also keep dancing. She's understanding that what you're doing, but not just in a practical way, in a more artistic, more emotional way, which is what we want to do in tango. Okay? So that would be the part for the leaders. Let's see what the ladies have to do now. For the ladies, this is none of the exercises that we're doing today require you to learn something. We already know what we have to do. The thing is that the combination of them are allowing you to, in a way, because they are not that difficult, you don't have to be thinking too much other than walking and making a very nice and elegant pivot during your forward ocho. Other than that, you are free to think of your form, the form of your movement, the form of your posture every time that you're walking. For that, at first, I'm going to just show you in the same way that I show the leaders. I'm going to be starting in the wrong side of the room. I'm going to be going in that direction. So the leader is going to take you to a side step and then 2 rebound steps. I mean, 2 steps, and the second is going to be a rebound step. The first, the second. See, if you don't dance that rebound step, that feels a little bit like this. That's a little bit robotic, right? So I'm going to ask you to feel in your core how you're moving your body. It doesn't necessarily have to be a movement that you're doing with your hips intentionally. You have to just allow your hip bone move. Don't think too much about it. It's like you're thinking about your the movement of your skirt. Imagine that you have a very fluid kind of skirt, and the skirt is moving, but you're not thinking, you're not making that skirt go. It's a consequence of moving your core. So I want you to think about that. Side, 1, 2. Now, after that rebound, you're going to realize that what the leader is, you can a little bit predict what the leader is going to do. Not the whole movement, but you're going to read, oh, he's going to take me into a forward step. We have practiced so many embellishments. I would like you to try, because we're doing the music of Pedro Lawrence, which in your mind, if you're not familiar with Pedro Lawrence, his music is a combination of Carlos Di Sarli and Miguel Caló. Like, try to think that kind of music. What does that mean? It has a little bit of the syncopation, kind of like, not so much, but a little bit like Juan D'Arienzo, but at the same time very elegant, very melodious, meaning that it has a lot of melody. So that part, the melody, is what you can take advantage of. You can mix. The leader is going more towards the beat. You can do a lot of things with the melody. So after that forward step, the second one, what did I do there? We have practiced to make the O, like probably 2 months ago. The O was to try to draw the letter O on the ground, or if you wanted, a letter E, but kind of like turned upside down. The thing that I am drawing a curl, the shape of this on the ground, but I'm doing it quickly. I'm going to do this in slow motion so you can see my foot again. And I'm at the very end, I'm not just walking after the curl because I'm doing it a little bit faster. I'm doing bam, bam. I arrive and I tap the ground and you can kick high, you can kick low, but you're doing something. And that something is making your body in control. Not so much the embellishment, but I want you to feel in control of what you're doing, okay? So this part, it's your choice in social events, in the milonga, if you want to use them or not. But the more you practice at home or whenever you want this exercise, that is going to allow you to stay firm, to know where your axis needs to be, okay? So I'm going to do it one more time, slowly. After this forward ocho, I need to walk 3 steps for now. Don't forget that when you're walking forward, it's like you're walking in real life. 1, 2, 3. Every time that I walk, I'm elongating my leg and I am arriving with the heel. Okay? I don't want you to think that you have to do something special or dance ballet. You cannot go like this. Your walk is like you're walking down the street. But we're not walking down the street. We are dancing. So there are so many things that you can do when you're walking. You just arrived and you did this. So we're going to remember how to do that. I'm walking. I want you to look at my ankle. My ankle is what is propelling me forward. And I know that I am fully on, all my weight is on my right foot when my ankle is completely elongated. And from there, in the next step, I'm going to make a tiny step so you can see that you don't have to do longer steps. So if I practice that at home, in this case, you have to be a little bit agile. I'm not going to say fast. You have to steal that from the moment. So you have to go like this. Ba, ba, ba. 1, 2, 3. If I practice this, 1, 2, 3. Now, don't forget that in order to do that tap, your hip needs to be a little bit opened. You cannot do that tap. If I do the tap with my hip closed, look how my foot looks. If I open that hip, I'm allowing my glutes to be in charge of holding that leg. While I'm lifting my foot, this leg is hold here. If I close, I'm not using the right muscle, and I'm just like going to be using part of the muscles in my legs, and that makes that exercise look different. Okay, so if you walk, elongate that leg, hold it, boom. Now after that little touch there, I am holding and I'm caressing my thighs, and then I'm taking the next step. Like a plane, my foot points where it wants to go, and then it lands. Okay, in this case, I am giving both you and the leader a formula. We're doing 3 steps, pivot, 3 steps, pivot. So my suggestion for you, you already know how to do, how to walk forward, and you already know how to do forward ochos. The way that you're doing these exercises today, it's basically you're trying to embellish. You're trying to do the same movements, but from a different perspective, from a very elegant perspective. If you practice, see, I'm just going to go forward ocho, 3 steps forward. Forward ocho, 3 steps forward. Forward ocho. 1, 2, 3. One thing I want you to notice when I'm doing the forward ocho by myself is that, see, when I'm walking forward ocho, the leader is right here. His chest is in front of me, and his chest is sending me to that direction. 1, 2, 3. Then he's going to move his chest. See how I'm moving my hips in relationship to that lead that he's doing. Now, the lead is not for your chest only. I want you to use your hips. The more you use your hips to do that rotation, the better it's going to look. So, see, I go first with my torso, but see how I'm 90% disassociated. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that disassociation is going to make you really aware of your core. The more you use your core, the better you're going to end up doing this curl. When we learn how to do this curl, I was always asking you to move your body. First you start from your torso, but then it's a movement of your leg, your pivot, your hips. You're doing that, but not in that slower speed now. You need to go a little bit faster. So when you do it faster, it has a different taste. It has a very nice allure to it, provided that you're controlling also your balance. This is not going to look good if your balance is wobbly, if you're going away from the leader, and if you do like forward ochos like this. See how far away I am. Most of the time you're going to be like this with the leader. So I'm going to practice. So the leader cannot move his torso from here to here. He's going to move slightly, so he moves me. Forward ocho. See how like my hips are going towards that corner, but his chest is not going that way. He moves. Also, we spoke about, when I was explaining the leaders how to do this, we were talking about the pauses. I want you to enjoy the pauses. If you cannot hold a pause in just one foot, what is that telling you? That you're not in control of your body. So, for example, I don't want you to think about the direction. In your case, you're just practicing pivot 1, 2, 3, pivot 1, 2, 3. The leader is doing that zigzag part that I asked them to do. That's their job. Your job is not to know the direction, so don't worry about that. We're not going to change the direction, okay? So, in going back to what I was saying about the pauses, let's say I'm going to do this in slow motion so you can relate of what I'm doing. I'm going to make the first 3 steps, and then after that, pause. See, probably here the leader is finding where to go. You don't stop dancing. You feel the pivot? Nice. He's not moving from here. Don't stop dancing. The music is still going. Sometimes he's going to walk those 3 steps very slowly. So there's a lot of possibilities there. If you feel like you don't understand that, moving with the melody, you have seen already my foot try to go with the beats. Ba, da, 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 ba, ba, ba. The next beat, no matter where you are, see, let's say you do da, da, da. The next beat, the leader, a good leader, is going to make you walk with that beat. So no matter where that foot is, see? If you left it crossed, bam, 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 bam. If you let it, if you arrived only on the side, so what I'm trying to say, you wait, but in the moment that you feel the lead, you know that you have to catch up with the music. If that foot is on the side, it takes a while to brush your standing foot and go forward. You cannot go from here because you're not going to have the time to rearrange your balance and you're going to lose it. The reason why we brush our foot in order to take the next step is because here, what I'm doing, I'm recovering my axis on my right foot right now, and then I'm moving my axis very nicely. Always think about this line. You're carrying that line all the time. You cannot carry the line like this. This would be a little bit too bad, okay? Now, let me show you with the sticks what the leaders are doing. The reason why I want you to know what the leaders are doing is because the leaders are doing a completely different set of steps with their feet. So if you look down, even just by curiosity, you're going to lose it. You're going to try to do exactly what the leaders are doing. Reason why, this is for your knowledge because you need to know, but don't try to look what the leader is doing. Once again, the fancy shoe is the right leg. The regular shoe is the left leg. So in the first part, there's no explanation required other than when you feel the rebound, don't forget to make your hips soft. After this one, see, you're going to feel that the leader is like taking you there. Don't try to walk like you're afraid of walking. See, if I walk like here, I understand that the leader is here and you feel probably a little bit scared of tripping over him. But if he is leading you that way, make sure that you're going to walk in front of your other foot. That is the rule when you're walking forward, right? So look where my foot is right now. The moment I walk, I'm going to go in front of that foot. Right after that rebound step comes the fun part. Pivot, and then 1, 2, 3. One. So see, I'm making one step and the leader is just collecting his feet. Okay, so he's not walking like you are walking. He's just giving you certain company to that movement. Let's do that again so you can see what is going on. Pam, 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 pam. Pam, 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 pam. Pam, 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 pam. I always like to make those noises with my mouth in order to, for some reason, my brain doesn't count the exercises, but most likely follows a pattern. And that pattern in my head is very visible, just doing pam, 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 pam. Every song has some kind of a pattern that you can immediately, without counting so much, or if you count, you can count. The idea is to find that pattern. Look. Pam, 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 pam. 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 Okay? What do I mean with this pam, 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 pam? Every leader, every person has a different way of interpreting the music. And at some point, they are going to probably pivot in you. Pam, 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 pam. So if I count that, pam, 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 pam. It's 5 movements. So I want you to, this is just an example. It depends on the speed of in which the leader is pivoting your body. So probably it's not going to apply. But I'm giving you the example of how I practice this in my head more than on the ground. So I make that forward step, and here I start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice that when I am thinking of that part, I'm also counting the one that is going in the air. Don't forget, that is important. Even when you do 1, 2, 3, you have to count that one going upwards. It's very important because you cannot just dance 1, 2. Okay, that movement that you're doing in the air counts because it's movement. We're counting the movement. We're not counting the stuff that is happening on the floor only. So once again, that set of 5. I arrive here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can do that as a practice in every forward ocho that I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eventually, you will develop your balance in just one foot, and you're going to be able to accelerate at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even that probably you're going to be doing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pa pa ra pa pa. Pa pa ra pa pa. That probably is going to happen later on when we do milonga, and your whole body is going to be dancing in a different speed. But for now, because we need to understand what to do and how to do it correctly, I want you to try to practice this at home very, very easily. Now, when we're doing just the tap, the music is going ta, ta, ta. What does that mean? On a regular basis, that means that I have to arrive with one foot. Pam, 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 pam. I can't practice that with just one beat. Like I said, I need to do pam, 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 pam. So, once again, let's find first in slow motion. Pam, 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 pam. If I count this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you want to count, I don't usually count, but every time that I'm saying 1, that means a forward step. In order to understand what part of your body is moving, I highly recommend you to do this in slow motion. I walk in front of my other foot. I'm transferring all my weight, and like I said before, my ankle is the part of my body that is finishing my weight being on top of my right foot. My ankle needs to be completely elongated so I can try to do this. My glutes and my upper leg, my thigh, they are taking care of my leg being in just one spot. And I'm moving from my knee to my big toe, everything like in a line. After that, I'm brushing the other foot. That brushing is giving me the direction, the right direction to keep walking in front of the other foot. Then again, I transfer my weight. My ankle finishes transferring completely that weight. I connect my glutes, my right muscles in my right leg. I tap, brush the other foot, and keep going. Okay? So it's extremely important that you feel in your core, and by core I mean this area, not just here. where probably when you do yoga, you have to think just a small space here, but I want you to, when it's your midsection, not only in the front part of your body, but all around. The midsection is working really hard for you to be able to do these fancy movements. So don't forget that elongation of your toes is giving you a lot of elegance. Okay? If you can feel your quadriceps working, your adductors working, your abductors working, and your glutes working, that is a correct thing to do stuff. If you feel that your knees are getting tired and that the ball of your feet are getting tired, you're doing something wrong. It should be so very light to do this and then pivot normally, that you're not, if I use my knees and I go like this, and in the pivot I do this, it's that means that I am, by doing this, I'm adding a lot of pressure, not only on my knee, but also to my ankles, and of course to the ball of the foot, and of course the muscle on the sole is going to get tired, and the pull of those ligaments to my the joint of the ball of my foot is going to end up getting hurt. So try, once again, try to let the larger muscles in your body to take care of that exercise. And whenever you're doing pivot, if you're using your bar, if you're using your chair, if you're using the wall, don't forget, you pivot going up. The leg might be going away from you, but your center is going up. Okay, that feels elegant and elongated. This is wrong. Okay, and also it makes me feel like if you do that, you're dragging your dance partner to you. So you're shrinking and you're dragging. And if that gentleman is leading you like that, is going to feel like he needs to go like shrink towards you, which is not very pleasant as a leader. Okay? And finally, see, the music is going. This is very simple. And again, this is just an exercise. This is just an example I'm giving to you. 1, 2, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I want to point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. So try to practice that. Listen to the music. Organize your movement according to what you're listening. In this case, and in order to look what is happening, it's utmost important that you have a mirror for your feet. If I just make it like this, without thinking of how my feet are looking, I'm not ever going to learn, or I'm never going to change that. I want you to, once again, have the form of your movement and control that form. I'm going to take my shoe off, and I want you to be able to see my whole body. When you're pointing, you're dancing from the knee to your foot, to your toe. If you bend your ankle, if you open your hip too much, that is what I mean, disorganizing your movements. That's what I I'm asking you to The reason why I'm asking you to use a mirror, because only when you see your leg doing the right thing and the good thing, you're going to keep doing the right thing. It might be like, because you see, that happened to me as well when I was a student. I used to see the teacher doing it, and in my head I was doing it correctly, but then the teacher told me, look at your ankle. And I was just paying attention to arrive to the ground with my toe, but I didn't pay attention to elongate my ankle and my knee at the same time. Okay? And all of the leaders that are out there, that applies to us as well, because the form of the movement has no role. If you're going to kick and you do this, or you're going to kick behind and you do this, it doesn't look nice. So all these exercises that I'm giving you, they are good for the ladies, they're good for the gentlemen. Okay? The idea is that here in these lessons, I'm teaching you how to move your body. I'm not just teaching you a role. I am a leader, but I can follow perfectly, because the role is not important. The important part is that I am controlling every movement. And that movement, I'm not going to say that all the time is coming out beautiful, but I'm giving my 120% energy to make it. I'm trying to make it a little bit nice, a little bit perfect. And that is not only because, oh, I have the experience. All of you can do it. All of you can practice this at home, and that when the time is right for us to come back to the dance floor, you're going to be able to do this very easily and nicely. Okay? Well, that would be the lesson for today. Thank you so very much for staying with me. Unfortunately, I have been having some difficulties, technical difficulties these past weeks. I am hoping to solve them by the coming weeks. But that's the reason why we didn't have our lesson, our episode of our podcast last week. However, those are fixed, and we have a wonderful episode. I want you all to try it. We were talking a few weeks ago with Rachel Summer about the ladies in tango, so I decided to talk a little bit more about Francisca Paquita Bernardo, who was a very interesting person. She lived a very short life, but she revolutionized the tango 100 years ago. So it's wonderful to listen to her story. Go to my to my Anchor channel to do that. If you have any question, just send me a message. And of course, we're going to get together in a bit in our virtual Milonga. Don't miss it. We are there every Sunday at 7:30. Even if you have not come for a long time, or even if you want to come for the first time, everybody's welcome. Everybody's having a lot of fun. We chat a little bit, we see each other, which is the most important part. We share our ideas, we discuss about tango, we listen to some music, and sometimes we go virtually to Buenos Aires, which is very, very interesting. So come join us in the Milonga later on. Thank you so very much, and I will see you next week. Have a good night.